Malaysia adopts a balanced foreign policy, stands clear of provocations. Amended Act on Workplace Health Safety comes into force on 1st June. Salam Malaysia Madani, I'm SAHIH and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. Malaysia adopts a balanced foreign policy approach between the West and East and stands clear of any sort of position that is deemed provocative. In stressing this, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said Putrajaya engaged well with the United States and Europe and at the same time maintains excellent bilateral relations with China, South Korea and Japan.
We adopt a very fierce foreign policy position to engage and depend on the support, collaboration, investments from the West, the United States, Europe. At the same time, maintain excellent bilateral relations with China, Korea, Japan.
The Prime Minister said this at the Special World Economic Forum's WEF opening plenary session, A New Vision for Global Development in Riyadh. Malaysia, he said, is very clear of not entering into any sort of a position that is deemed provocative against one another.
How do we navigate it? By just saying, look, we welcome investments based on our rules and don't dictate and impose any conditions. We will not, for example, enter into any sort of a decision that is deemed to be provocative against one another. And I think so far we have managed.
Datuk Seri Anwar, who is also the Finance Minister, said that for a small emerging economy, the balancing act is not an easy feat.
We are fortunate against because there is somewhat an ASEAN consensus on this, though not in full because there are different strands, but at least within the ASEAN mechanism, there has been this sort of a position that we maintain our neutrality.
Team Global Collaboration, Growth and Energy for Development, the two-day meeting convenes more than 1,000 global leaders from 92 countries, including heads of states and government, thought leaders from public and private sectors, as well as international organizations, academic institutions and non-governmental organizations. At the sideline of the WEF special meeting, the Prime Minister held a bilateral meeting with President Paul Kagame of Rwanda. The 30-minute meeting, which began at 11:40 a.m. local time, took place after both leaders participated in the opening plenary session of the special meeting. During their meeting, Datuk Seri Anwar invited Kagame for an official visit to Malaysia and Kagame reciprocated by extending an invitation to the Prime Minister to make an official visit to Rwanda. The two leaders also discussed bilateral trade with both countries encouraging increased trade in the halal industry and palm oil sector. Malaysia-Rwanda bilateral trade volume currently stands at about $25 million. Datuk Seri Anwar and Kagame also discussed new areas of cooperation to be explored between Malaysia and Rwanda, including disaster risk management, urban planning and digitalization, tourism, human resource capacity development and the halal industry. The Occupational Safety and Health Amendment Act 2022 will come into effect on 1st June, thus further increasing the level of safety and health at workplaces nationwide. Human Resources Minister Seven Sim said he had signed the Gazette to speed up the implementation and enforcement of the Act, which had been delayed for almost 2 years. The Occupational Safety and Health Amendment Act 2022 was passed by Parliament on 16 March 2022. According to SIM, the enforcement of the Act requires employers to analyse risks in the workplace and appoint a health safety coordinator.
Syarikat-syarikat yang lebih 5 orang pekerja atau ke atas wajib melantik seorang penyelaras OSH. Jadi ini antara beberapa perkara dan memang amat dinanti-nantikan oleh sektor pengamal KKP, penyelaras OSH yang saya sebut tadi. Ini adalah satu perkara yang baru. So dengan adanya orang terlatih dan orang kompeten, menambah baik pelantikan ini, maka kita harap persekian tempat kerja akan jadi lebih selamat dan sihat.
Sim told reporters after officiating the World Day for Safety and Health celebration in Cyberjaya. At today's ceremony, a total of 2,500 participants consisting of occupational safety and health practitioners recited the Integrity Pledge and created a record as the largest Integrity Pledge by OSA's practitioners in Malaysia in the Malaysian Book of Records. Sarawak Premier Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg today said that prospective investors must deposit at least 2 million ringgit or purchase property worth not less than 1.5 million ringgit to obtain permanent residency PR in the state. He said that many investors have started to view Sarawak as a jewel as the state's economy performance has surpassed the economy of Johor.
Sekarang ini economic performance kita we have overtaken Johor. We are the first, the top 3 now. We have taken over Johor. Dan tidak lama mungkin we take over Selangor, mungkin. Jadi sebab itu banyak orang yang nak pindah sini. Tapi kita hendakkan orang yang boleh membawa idea baru.
He was met by reporters after the World Water Day celebration in Kuching today. Yesterday, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof had said that depositing at least 2 million ringgit or buying property worth not less than 1.5 million ringgit were among the conditions for obtaining permanent resident status in Malaysia. He added that many business people from Peninsular Malaysia and Sabah have expressed their interest in migrating to Sarawak due to the business and investment prospects available in the state. Malaysians residing in Jordan can play a role as ambassadors to promote the products of micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, as national cooperatives of Malaysia. Entrepreneur Development and Cooperative Minister Datuk Iwan Benedict said his ministry, through the Malaysian Cooperative Commission, Malaysian Cooperative Institute and National Cooperative Movement of Malaysia Berhad, or ANCASA, is ready to assist Malaysians in Jordan interested in venturing into entrepreneurship, particularly through the cooperative platform. The minister said this during an open discussion between the ministry delegation and the Malaysian diaspora in Jordan. Meanwhile, Dato' Iwan emphasized that the participation of professionals, youth and civil servants in the cooperative movement is important as they can contribute ideas to ensure the dynamic growth and relevance of the cooperative movement in line with the country's socio-economic development. MSMEs contributed 580.4 billion ringgit to the gross domestic product, with exports valued at 10.5% or 144.5 billion ringgit and employed 48.2% or 7.59 million people in the labour-intensive sector in the year 2022. Last year, the number of cooperatives continued to increase to 15,809 with a total membership of 7.2 million, share capital of 17.4 billion ringgit and acquisition value of 64.56 billion ringgit. Coming up next, Felda urged to enhance quality of educational infrastructure. Water is an important component which acts as a stabilizer and catalyst for sustainable national development. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof, who is also the Energy Transition and Water Transformation Minister, said that inequality in the distribution of water resources, limited access to water supply and sanitation services can be an obstacle to the peace and stability of the country. Therefore, he expressed hope that the concept of water diplomacy could be extended to various parties in fostering innovative solutions through dialogue, data sharing and joint decision-making so that the risk of conflict can be reduced and further achieve the desire of water for peace. The Deputy Premier said this when speaking at the World Water Day 2024 celebration in Kuching. Later in a media conference, Datuk Sri Fadilah said a total of 9 billion ringgit is needed to replace all water pipes throughout the country.
Pipe dia memang menjadi cabaran disebabkan di seluruh negara kita memerlukan lebih kurang 9 bilion untuk seluruh negara. Average non-revenue water, air yang hilang macam biasa sebab kebocoran pipe dan sebagainya ataupun sama ada kecurian dan sebagainya, lebih kurang average 40%.
In Sarawak, a total of 46 water-related projects covering 33 extension projects and 13 new projects with project costs of 6.01 billion ringgit have been approved. The families of the Navy personnel who perished in the two helicopter tragedy at the Royal Malaysian Navy TLDM base in Lumut will continue being provided with counselling services based on their needs. Deputy Minister of Women, Family and Community Development, Datuk Sri Noraini Ahmad, stated that observations have found the next of kin still grieving but demonstrating a strong will in accepting their tragic fate.
Itu bergantung kepada keadaan individu tersebut, tapi kita biarkan dahulu sebab memang ialah masing-masing nak bersendirian, nak merasa sedih di atas apa yang berlaku. Macam saya katakan tadi, ini orang yang mereka sayang, yang paling rapat dengan mereka. Ada setengahnya tempat bergantung harap bagi keluarga tersebut, tapi kita akan sentiasa ada untuk mendengar dan membantu.
She said this to reporters after visiting the family of the late Lieutenant T. Sivasutan at Taman Serdang Jaya Setiawan today. She mentioned that the ministry had also provided a donation of 3,000 ringgit through the National Welfare Foundation's Ehsan scheme and essential items, in addition to her personal contribution to the three families of the victims residing in Setiawan and Lumut today. Earlier, Datuk Sri Noraini visited the families of the late Warrant Officer 2, TMK Muhammad Shariz and Muhammad Termizi in Taman Lekir Indah, and Warrant Officer 2, Nur Farahimi Muhammad Swadi at the Lumut Naval Base. Last Tuesday, the crash involving a maritime operations helicopter HOM AW139 and a Fanac aircraft M5026 at the Lumut Naval Base claimed the lives of 10 TLDM personnel. The Johor government has called on the Federal Land Development Authority Felda to enhance the quality of educational infrastructure in its settlements. Menteri Besar Dato' Onn Hafiz Ghazi said this would in turn improve the education standards of Felda children and empower them to contribute to the development of Felda communities throughout the country.
Ilmu pengetahuan itu penting, tuan-tuan dan puan. Ibu-ibu, ayah-ayah yang saya kasih sekalian, jangan kita sekali-sekali abaikan pendidikan untuk anak-anak kita. Ini yang saya tahu, dan bila saya kaji macam mana bangsa-bangsa lain bersaing di peringkat negara dan juga di peringkat antarabangsa, ialah melalui pendidikan, tuan-tuan.
He said this at the launching ceremony of the Segalanya Felda Carnival in the Segamat region at Felda Pemanis 1 today. Dato' Onn Hafiz reaffirmed the state government's steadfast support and called upon the people to trust Felda management's capability to lead the important agenda for the Felda community. The two-day Segalanya Felda Carnival, which began yesterday, aims to showcase entrepreneurial and cultural activities and Felda products to the public. It features programs such as Semarak Subuh, People's Sports, a motor convoy and Rahmah sales. Dengue cases in Kedah are at an alarming level, with a total of 1,550 cases reported in a 16 epidemiological week this year, compared with 1,301 cases recorded for the same period last year. State Housing, Local Government and Health Committee Chairman Major Retired Mansur Zakaria said the figure showed an increase of 19.1% or 249 cases. He said there were deaths in the period compared with 0 cases for the same period last year.
Isu-isu utama yang menjejaskan kawalan wabak hotspot adalah: pertama, rumah-rumah yang tidak berpenghuni, iaitu lama ditinggalkan, tidak diselenggara dengan baik dan mempunyai pembiakan Aedes. Yang keduanya, kurang kerjasama penduduk suatu aktiviti kawalan dari rumah ke rumah dijalankan oleh anggota kesihatan.
He said this to reporters while inspecting one of the dengue hotspot localities in Taman Sejati Indah in Sungai Petani today. Meanwhile, Mansour said that the State Health Department, in collaboration with the state government, introduced QR codes for self-inspection of Aedes breeding grounds to encourage residents to check Aedes breeding grounds in their homes since January. He said that for a start, this initiative involves residents in some at-risk localities and will be expanded throughout the state in the future. Johor Police seized almost 2.4 million ringgit worth of drugs in a raid on a house in Taman Pelangi, Johor Bahru on Wednesday. A 35-year-old male suspect with past drug and criminal records who led police to the house was arrested. Johor Police Chief Commissioner M. Kumar said the suspect was part of a drug syndicate who used a room in a 3-room terrace house he was renting to repack drugs in instant powdered drink sachets before distributing them to his regular clients. Briefing reporters today, the drugs, he said, were repacked in the sachets and bottled drinks to elude police, adding that each sachet could fetch up to 20 ringgit. The suspect, who tested positive for methamphetamine and amphetamine, is believed to be a member of the drug syndicate that has been in operation since February this year. Police also seized 231 packets of ecstasy powder, 707 ecstasy pills, ketamine and 3 litres of narcotic-laced drinks. Also seized were 2 cars and 650 ringgit. Still ahead, 20 Cambodian soldiers killed in ammunition-based explosion. An explosion at a military ammunition warehouse killed at least 20 soldiers and injured several others in central Cambodia. The blast, which took place around 2 p.m. at the 3rd Military Region in Chabah Mon in the country's Kampong Spiu province, damaged 4 military buildings and 25 houses nearby. A woman working in a garment factory near the site of the explosion said the roof and windows of her house were destroyed from the blast impact. Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet expressed condolences on his Facebook page and announced $20,000 would be provided as financial support for families of the dead and about $5,000 for each injured soldier. Bangladesh authorities have reopened the schools that were closed earlier in the week due to severe heat wave, even though sweltering weather continued in the capital of Dhaka. The schools opened on Sunday, the first weekday in the South Asian nation, as the latest 72-hour heat alert ended, though temperature rose up to 39 degrees Celsius with severe humidity. Mercury is expected to hit over 40 degrees in the coming days. Due to recent Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr, students receive extended leave with the inclusion of the hard alert, causing schools to worry about their progress in preparing for year-end exams. Some schools said they may return to online classes if the heat wave persists. Yemen's Houthi has released footage they claim shows an American MQ-9 drone being shot down in Yemeni airspace. The video posted on Telegram showed a screen view of an object being hit in the night sky. An additional video showed a bright object travelling through the night sky before hitting another object. The group claims the downing of the aircraft took place over Sana'a in the late hours of Thursday. The group also released footage of an unidentified militant assessing a damaged aircraft and debris fell on the ground. Reuters was not able to confirm the locations or the dates the videos were filmed. The alleged incident follows a spate of missile attacks launched by Yemeni Houthis towards merchant vessels in the Gulf of Aden, which the group claimed is to support the people of Gaza during the ongoing war with Israel. On Thursday, Britain said the Royal Navy warship HMS Diamond had shot down a missile fired by the Iran-backed Houthis from Yemen, targeting a merchant vessel. Israel Army released images showing the landing jetty being worked on in Gaza. The Pentagon said the US military has started constructing a maritime pier that will allow humanitarian aid into Gaza, a move that had been expected, with the jetty set to become operational by early May. Reuters was not able to confirm the date and location when the video and pictures were filmed. In March, President Joe Biden announced that the military would build a temporary port on Gaza's Mediterranean coast to receive humanitarian aid by sea. The construction is part of an effort to avert famine in the Palestinian enclave 5 months into Israel's military campaign against Hamas, which has devastated the tiny Gaza Strip and plunged its 2.3 million people into a humanitarian catastrophe. Coming up in sports, lawn bowler Farah Ain captures Malaysia's historic world champion title. Stay with us. Lawn bowl athlete Nur Farah Ain Abdullah made Malaysian history by winning the gold medal at the 2024 World Indoor Bowling Championship in Guernsey, Channel Island, which ended yesterday. According to the Malaysian Lawn Bowls Federation MLBF Facebook post today, the prowess and determination of Farah Ain to win the world champion title was proven when she craved out a stylish 6-2, 6-3 victory over Connie Rickson of Malta in the final of the women's singles event. Canadian Linda Ng and Scotland's Natalie McWilliams shared the bronze. In the meantime, the national camp's desire to reap another goal was not achieved after Izzat Shamir Zulkifli had to be contented with a silver in the men's singles event after losing 5-6, 3-9 to the host representative Jason Greenslade in the final. The men's singles bronze was won by Harry Goodwin of England and Shannon McClory of New Zealand. The national camp also brought home a bronze medal to the pair of Izzat Shamil Farah Ain in the mixed doubles event, allowing Malaysia to emerge as the overall champion, followed by Australia second and Guernsey third, who each having won one goal. Malaysia started their Uber Cup 2024 Group B campaign on the wrong footing when they went down to a 1-4 defeat to Taiwan today. Professional women's singles shuttler Goh Jinwei did everything before she went down, fighting the mighty Zai Zhu Ying in straight sets in the tournament held in Chengdu High-Tech Zone Sports Centre. The former two-time World Junior champion managed to get her nose ahead during the interval for both sets, by Zhu Ying eventually ran away with a slim victory 21-19, 22-20 to give Taiwan a much-needed lead in the opening game. Jinwei admitted she could not hold on to the lead after both intervals against the current world number 5 player, whom she had never beaten after 4 meetings. In the second game, scratch pair led by the team captain Teo Mei Zing and her partner Goh Pee Ki gave a glimmer of hope when they pulled 1 point from Malaysia in the second game by upsetting world number 24 Su Ya Ching, Lin Wan Ching. Mei Zing Pei Ki, who did not play together for more than 1 year, showed no fear through an energetic display to trounce Ya Ching and Wan Ching 21-19, 21-17. However, Taiwan regained the lead when world number 27 Wen Chi Su recovered from a game down to see off Malaysia's second single, K. Latshana, in rubber set contest that lasted 57 minutes. Latshana, ranked 68, started brightly as she took the opening game of the third match 21-13 before running out of steam and succumbed to the 26-year-old opponent 17-21, 16-21. Malaysia had no choice but to rely on the second doubles Ho Lee Yi, Tan Xing Yi to at least drag the game into the decider. But Lo Yi, Xing Yi failed to do so as they were outplayed by Hu Ling Fang, Teng Chung Sun 17-21, 11-21 in 32 minutes. Taiwan's third single, Sung Xiu Yun, completed the rout by taking the 4th point for her country after she dispatched Wong Ling Ching 21-17, 22-20. The Ministry of Youth and Sports KBS is targeting 8,880 participants for the Basic Sports Swimming Skills Training Program or Class Renang nationwide this year. Minister Hannah Yeoh said that the free Class Renang program is aimed at 7,680 children from B40 families, person with disabilities OKU aged 6 to 15 years, with 600 participants and 600 senior citizens aged 60 to 75 years.
target tahun ini, kelas renang akan diperluaskan kepada 2 kategori, iaitu kumpulan warga emas dan juga kumpulan OKU. Dan termasuk kanak-kanak yang kita akan mulakan kelas. Kosnya saya rasa berbaloi kerana kita berikan satu kemahiran kepada mereka.
Met after officiating the class renang program in Penampang, Hannah said the registration for the first phase is open from April to June, with the program taking place in 222 locations with swimming pool facilities. Additionally, Hannah said that her ministry is in discussion with local authorities and state governments with swimming pools to be repaired for public use. Lionel Messi continued his rich vein of scoring in MLS, finding the target twice as league leaders. Inter Miami came from behind for a 4-1 win at the New England Revolution on Saturday. With his brace, Messi, the top scorer in MLS, took his tally to 9 goals from 7 appearances this season. The Revolution actually opened the scoring as Thomas Chankale notched a goal in the first minute for New England. Messi tied up the game 1-1 in the 32nd minute, taking a through ball from Robert Taylor and putting a left-footed strike in past keeper Henrik Rabas. Then, in the 68th minute, the Argentine gave Miami a 2-1 lead, picking up Sergio Busquets' through ball and striking a left-footed shot with his team leading 9th goal. In the 83rd minute, Benjamin Cremachi gave Miami a 3-1 lead. Messi had the initial shot, which Ravas stopped, but Cremachi was there to put in the rebound. Miami took a 4-1 lead in the 88th minute as Luis Suarez put a left-footed strike past Ravas for his 7th goal in 10 games. Kankale got the scoring going by chipping a shot up and over Miami keeper Drake Callender off a through ball from Carl Skill 37 seconds into the match.
Here he is to Suarez! Oh my word!
In golf, American Brendan Steele took the individual honours ahead of Louis Gautuzin at Leaf Golf Adelaide as Cameron Smith sent local fans into a frenzy by leading the Australian Ripper quartet to the team title in a playoff. Overnight leader after a sizzling 8 under par 64 in Saturday's second round, Steele capped his nerve to back up with a final round 68 and win the $20 million event by a stroke on 18 under. The 41-year-old Californian, 3 times a winner on the PGA Tour, before his defection to Leaf suffered a setback with a bogey at the third, but 5 straight birdies before the turn gave him just enough of a cushion to get across the line. Former British Open champion Gautuzin pressed hard for his first individual title on the breakaway circuit, but his 7 birdie 65 was only good enough for second place. Twice major winner John Ram, fired by an eagle at the par 5-7, shot a final round of 64 and shed third place on 16 under with Charles Schwartzel and Dean Burmester, Andy Ogletree and Hakim Niemann. That's it from us this evening. In our top story, Malaysia adopts a balanced foreign policy, stands clear of provocations. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thanks for watching.